All right, welcome back, and the others have joined us. Welcome, Carbon X. Say hello. All you have to do is say hello, man. That's all you gotta do is say hello. Right under him is King81, aka Arsenal Beats,
What's up, everybody?
and right below him is Mutundo83. Say what's up.
What's up? I don't roll dice.
And the next segment we're going to talk about. You tell us what is this trailer going to show? Big O.
Yes. Okay. With this trailer, we get to see Sindel in action, and also Shao Kahn. And also, man, we get to see Raiden, some actual game footage and stuff of Raiden fighting and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting, man. Like, yo, so
right.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling.
Excuse me. All right, let's check it out.
Outworld can be both alien and intoxicating to Earthrealmers. While our realms are at peace, there are Outworlders who would prefer us to be at war. General Shao.
Victor of the Tavarian War, conqueror of the Quatan Plains. All of Outworld is grateful for his service. You would consign us to endless war.
Better that than be Liu Kang's lapdog.
Did not your illustrious father teach you that war is the last resort? Do not forget that, General. We gather once again to honor my late husband's legacy, to continue the tournament that he founded with Lord Liu Kang.
Empress Sindel.
Let us meet your champion.
Earthrealm's champion is Raiden, Your Majesty.
Is it me? Or is Earthrealm's champion scrawnier than usual?
He has earned his place by embodying the very best qualities of Earthrealm's people.
I am ready, Your Majesty. Whom shall I face?
We will destroy your champion, Liu Kang. He will taste no victory. Finish him.
Who's your queen?
Yo. Man, I gotta say this, man.
Oh my God!
If they was to have Shonuff in this, man,
dude,
I can see
dude,
him say something.
I'm telling you, dude.
Who's your?
I'm telling you, dude.
I mean, I can see.
It's a great modern travesty that Leroy Green and Shonuff, the Shogun of Harlem, aren't a part of some
Like,
fighting game lore. I mean, they put everybody, and I know Carbon X. They're not as popular or whatnot, but I think it's time for a resurgence for those characters. I'm sorry.
Yes,
it's time for a resurgence. You know why? Because you have no culture.
There's some things that can't resurge.
There is something about Gen Z, and you guys' lack of black consciousness and black culture that is alarming. But I'll say this about what I witnessed with this, with Mortal Kombat 1 in general, is I noticed that that they've toned the design language down compared to some of the other games that I've seen. It's a little bit more simplified. My only gripe is that they didn't go back to the more simplified looking ninja uniforms that they had in the original ones. Because it almost seems like this is almost like almost like how it beginning again. I mean, I guess that's why it's calling it 1. I'm still confused. I'm still confused by why Liu Kang is the god and why Raiden's not the god, though. Still confused by that.
You gotta catch back up in Mortal Kombat 11. It's like it'll explain all that. Like, basically Raiden gave his powers to Liu Kang, and Liu Kang reset the timeline. And they also have like a like the first, I think, 18-minute like movie part of it, like of the game. Well, yeah, like the storyline of it. And this is interesting, man. It's like, I see why they call it like Mortal Kombat. When at first I was like, man, that's gonna be confusing, but it does it's like they're playing off of it, saying, okay, you ever start all over again. So yes, it is 1. It's like they're breaking the design rule of, like title naming and stuff and all. But that's a little fun little Easter egg thing. But I'm definitely loving the design and stuff, especially with with Shao Kahn. I think this is like my favorite design of him, man. It kind of reminds me of that dude that from that movie you like. I can't call it up with the horns and stuff like that. Because I know some people wasn't really
Legend.
Yeah, because some people wasn't really feeling the horns, but I'm feeling it.
Shao Kahn's the emperor, right?
Yeah, in this game.
Oh well, in this game he's the general of like the armies and stuff like that. Yeah.
So
but the thing was,
who was the villain below him? The Asian guy. That was
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung, yeah. Because there was a hierarchy. It was Shang Tsung, and above him was the emperor, right?
Yeah. The thing with Shang Tsung, it's like he's like, even in this one, if you watch like the first story of the new Mortal Kombat 1, like the story part of it, like Shang Tsung, he's always been like that one that he wants to be powerful and stuff like that. He's so evil, he'll do so much evil things to get there. In the sense, the timeline's been reset. There's a part with him, like spoiler alert and stuff like that, though. But there's a part of him when you see him, he's basically like trying to sell medicine and magic potions and stuff, but it's all fake. And it's like, this one guy comes, he's like, you sold us fake medicine, in our village, our people are so sick, it doesn't work. It's and like people, they call him out on it, so he gets like it's like he looks old and stuff. But then once it's like once people done beat him up and everything, he's like sitting outside his little cart, and then the villain from oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I can't call the girls Dimitri, help me out, man. The girl, the time person from the first the last who?
Kronika.
Yeah, Kronika. See, but then Kronika, she comes out of the woods or something like that to talk to Shang Tsung, and she basically was telling him that, I know what you're capable of doing. You deserve great power and stuff. So she starts feeding him like these ideals and trying to give him power. And it's so funny too, because he also like rips off like the old looking stuff he had, because he was trying to be like an old person, because he figured people will be more humble to him, like trying to sell to people and stuff like that. So when he takes it all off, you see it's the younger version of him. And it's like, see, Kronika, she knows the events that happen, and she's basically trying to get her powers and stuff back from Liu Kang and all that. So now it now looks like she's hooking up with Raiden, but not Raiden. I'm sorry, with Shang Tsung. But I mean, I'm definitely feeling it, man. I mean, the only thing like too, it's like Raiden is basically the chosen one now, but it's like it's so crazy, because it's like Kung Lao, it's like you always want to see him to be the chosen one, because of his ancestor. But it's like he's always getting like chosen over, and they say because of his attitude and
Yeah.
I guess his cockiness and things and stuff like that and all. But it's interesting to see. You actually get to see Raiden. Like he's not. I mean, he can fight and stuff like that, but he's developing his skills, and it's like this is how you see a character develop. You know what I'm saying? Not like how Star Wars.
I mean, let me pull it up real quick. But the Big Trouble in Little China Lightning. Like, you can definitely tell that Mortal Kombat was inspired by lightning from Big Trouble in Little China. I mean, even in some of his moves and stuff in the game, you can see it. You can see it.
Because
this scene right here. This scene right here was a badass scene. There was something about blocking, lighting, and visuals in movies from the 80s and early 90s that's just lost on movies these days. And I think it's also something about the film grain. Have you ever seen Big Trouble in Little China, Carbon X?
No.
You gotta see it.
Look, everything about your life sucks.
Leave Carbon alone.
Everything. Like
everything about your life sucks. What you talking
leave
about?
Carbon.
My life is grand.
We can argue.
Every time I hear
no.
And it's not even him being a new generation. I'm like, man,
Demetrius.
He's just depressing.
Man,
That's what it is.
Demetrius.
On time.
Demetrius.
You have nothing to do with
Demetrius. Do I have to mute you? Demetrius, do I have to mute you?
Hey, I'm sorry, that game so rated higher than any Street Fighter on Metacritic. Yeah.
Look, guys. This is Demetrius. The show
about this man sucks.
Demetrius. The show isn't about berating Carbon X. That's not what the show is about. If you don't have anything constructive to say, don't say it at all. Look, all I was going to say, Carbon X, was there was a guy who I used to work with who was around your age, and he had never heard of it. So I showed him some stills from the movie. He was like, and he couldn't believe like how crisp it looked. Like, like the movie was filmed in like 1940 or something like they had high quality movies. It's just people are so used to seeing those movies on video cassette tape where it was low quality medium, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Yeah. But the HD remastered version of these movies look amazing. So do yourself a favor, Carbon X. Sit down with your dad one day and watch 3 movies. 1, The Last Dragon, which every young black male needs to watch. They should be watching that movie. The Last Dragon. Next is The Golden Child. Actually 4. Third is Coming to America. And 4th is Big Trouble in Little China. Those are 4 movies from the 80s that you have to watch. You gotta watch them. You gotta watch them.
Hey, and I'll say this: if I've seen all 4 of them, no, I was saying, a lot of movies I don't get to see, from back this stuff, but I've definitely seen all 4 of those. Yeah, man. So those are
this movie was so influential. It inspired one of the characters for Mortal Kombat. You don't have Raiden without the 3 storms, without Rain, the lightning from the 3 storms from Big Trouble. I mean, look at this. It's badassery, dude.
Yeah,
badassery. Here's the GIF. Even the effects, like how they did the effects back then, I just thought that was so much cooler. Because now the lightning, they would use 3D particle effects or something like that, and it
doesn't like real lighting though.
It just doesn't have the same effect, man. To me,
no, it looks like real lighting.
I think this looks more real than the stuff that I see now. I do, but because there's something about the way this lightning looks that merges better with the film. Now it looks like it was created in some kind of CG program, but
sometimes that's a goal for it.
Before we move on, I also want to talk about Shonuff. I particularly want to ask Caliph this question. If I can go back here, god damn. So I want to ask you a serious question because I know you've never seen the movie, and I think you should be forever. I think you should be forever shamed for that. In this regard, I will allow Demetrius to shame you because I think you should be ashamed. But you cannot tell me this guy does not belong in a fighting game. You can't tell me. You can't say it. You just can't tell me that he does not belong in a fighting game. You know what we should do? You know what we should do next year, guys?
I don't know. I think his design's a little bit goofy.
A lot of the fighting game characters look goofy. So get out of here.
Some of them look cool. What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Shonuff looks cool.
Shonuff was cool. Shonuff was
that is not a cool outfit. I'm sorry.
Man,
he's basically just wearing samurai garments.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say what we should do next year is once we finish project for this year is make a fighting game prototype for the Last Dragon. That'd be like our entire year.
I will let you guys do that.
That's been one of my dreams.
That's on you. That's
one of my dreams.
Yeah, Carmen, man, you got the 3D skills, man.
Drag me into this one, bro.
Damn that 3D stuff. It'd be 2D. Damn 3D. Although 3D would probably be a lot easier though.
Go ahead and do something you want.
You
can't tell me this guy should fight.
Yeah, Shonuff, man. I mean, just his whole demeanor and everything, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's like you believe what he was saying, like, you know. And plus, too, even in the movie, you got some kids that be like, kind of laugh at him and stuff like that. No, but
that's what's so good about the movie because he's so ridiculous. You think, okay, this guy, he's not gonna be able to beat Leroy until that last scene. And he was whooping Leroy's ass, dude. He was like, what did he say? He said, I got something real for you in these hands. I'm sorry. That's what was the coolest thing about his character because he comes off as utterly and totally ridiculous, but he was the real deal. He was the real deal. He attained the glow, not the full glow, but at least he could touch into it before Leroy could, and Leroy wasn't expecting that shit. And he was like, he was like, nigga. It was like, I'm sorry.
Time's over,
Gen Z. I swear, Black Gen Zs, you will be the death of Black people. I swear you will be.
We didn't cause a death. I'm sorry. It started with you. You will be the death.
No, that's not true.
We are the aftermath.
That's not true. It started with the boomers, and boomers get mad when I say that, but it actually started with them. But
so you can't blame that on us.
But
like, you expect them to try to pick up some ashes and try to build a house together out of burnt ashes. Like, what the world? We're not doing.
No, I agree, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about even with just a general sense of Black consciousness. It's just guys just don't have it. You don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it boggles the mind because it's like, you know, maybe for us because when we were growing up, there weren't a lot of Black heroes with this kind of like fantasy, martial arts fantasy, or even superhero genre. There weren't a lot of Black heroes back in the 80s. I mean, name one Black superhero type character, Black male superhero character from the 80s. That was in a movie, like a live action movie. I can't think of one. The closest we got was Meteor Man, and that came in the 90s, and he was corny.
Yeah, it came in the 90s. Man.
Yeah. You know, that was the closest we got. So this
you talking about that Action Jackson?
We're talking about real superheroes, not like a pimp turn a good guy. And he's
Action Jackson wasn't a pimp; he was a cop.
Beating up Whitey or whatever. You know,
that man flipped over a whole Cadillac. You know what I mean? Cadillacs were in the 80s.
He don't count. He don't count. He just doesn't. He don't count, man.
We can't forget about Blankman. I mean,
Blankman was comedy. Blankman was comedy, and he came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
So
I really can't think of nothing in the 80s.
Yeah, it didn't exist. It didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? But this is Action Jackson. If you want to know, this is the guy Carl
Weathers.
Carl Weathers. He also plays in The Mandalorian. He's the you know who this is?
Apollo Creed.
He's also Apollo Creed. Yeah, he also plays in the Predator movie.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Blankman? No, this is gonna be Meteor Man first.
Oh yeah.
I like the Meteor movie. The problem with that movie though is his costume just looks ridiculous. It's like, what is that? Like, what's going on there? It just doesn't make any sense at all. You know, it's just like you want to talk about goofy looking? That's goofy looking. This is ridiculous looking. And then Blankman, who's hilarious, but definitely not my favorite.
It kind of reminds me like a Batman of the ghetto or something. Well, I mean, he wasn't rich and stuff like that, but it's like
I know. All I remember from that movie, he made his own devices, and his suit was bulletproof and knife-proof. And then his brother was David Allen Greer, and his brother knew martial arts, and he made him a suit. And his brother was like daring the guy to shoot him, and then he tapped him like, "Hey, your suit's not bulletproof."
We need to review this movie because I remember it being funny. I remember it being funny as hell. But yeah. All right, Demetrius, Carbon, did you guys have anything you wanted to talk about? Because if you do, we'll have to end this one and move on to the next subject. If not, we'll end it here.
I got something to talk about.
Okay, well, let me stop the stream here. So we're going to stop it here.